Welcome back to the show. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's good. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I hope you had a lovely week. BTC has been very eventful. And as you know, or already know, it's at 34,000. It went to the peak of 35,000. $35,186. Now, it's a shock to everyone. Everyone's in disbelief. A lot of people are in disbelief about this current rally. Now, this psychological mark of 30K has been broken. It's been there for a very long time, and it's been rejected multiple times. Rejected here, it's been rejected here, rejected here, rejected again, rejected a few more times, and then finally the psychological bear market 30K resistance has been finally broken, and it's all spearheaded by institutional money. They know something that we don't. They obviously know something that we don't know. Now we're going to look into this and find out what is really going on here. We're forming a bear flag at the moment. We're forming a bull flag at the moment. As you can see right here, we're forming a bull flag, and we're going to see it's consolidating right now after this massive meteor pump. It's consolidating at the moment, and as you can see, we're making higher highs and lower lows. Higher highs and lower highs, as you can see. Now we're going to go down to look at BTC dominance. Now BTC dominance is at 54%. 54%, ladies and gentlemen, and it's quite remarkable. And the next step, the next push will be to 60%. Yeah, 60%. It's going to consolidate for a while, maybe go back down, maybe use this mark here, 51%, as the next support line, and then in a few months it will probably go up to 60K. Now, remember guys, last week's show, I did say we're not going to get to 34, but institutions know something that we clearly don't know, and SEC is probably giving the green lights to the likes of BlackRock, Grayscale, and other ETFs. Now these ETFs are going to come out all in one go. They're not going to come out one by one. They're all going to come out one by one. Now, today, what is going on in L1? We're going to look at some alpha, and right now there's L1 protocols that are really pumping right now. We got Filecoin in the last 7 days. It's been 287% price action. Yeah, increased. You got Radix, you got Zanuck, you got Sora, you got Valas, you got Scroll, and it's all making great positive pumps. Yeah, Zycoin and the likes. So, you got Stacks as well, which has had a 74% price increase. Now, this good news of the ETF coming out has also made altcoins, the altcoins landscape pump even further. Now, there's optimism coming back into the space. There's people starting to FOMO back into the space. But is this a good time to FOMO? And is this a good time to jump into the space? Now, we're going to find out if we're at spring or we're still in the depths of the bear market. Now, we have other protocols. We got Zebra, which has in the last seven days had 23,392% change, price action increase in the last 7 days. Now, people are jumping for joy over Solana, over a little 10%, 20% gains, but where the action really is, it's in altcoins. It's in illiquid markets. Now, you got Outer Action Riat, probably a French name. Who knows? It sounds like a French name. It's increased at 10,242% in the last 7 days. You got Grow 9,009 27% in the last 7 days. You got Tiger and Protocol with 1,125% gains. And the list goes on and on and on. And these are protocols within inside the chain. So for the first one, Zebra, that's a POSIX. That's in the POSIX chain, post chain. That's in that is a it's an app within that protocol. So you have the likes of these in the last 7 days. Now, moving on, you have AI coins. Now, AI coins are making a resurgence back into the space. And Nvidia went down, and so did AI crypto coins. They also went down. AI tokens had their run in late January, February this year, and we are seeing signs of a revival within this narrative. Some of the top performance since September, as of today, are PLLN, and it's gone up by 126%. The next one has gone up by 91%. Ori has gone up by 56%. Render has gone up by 51%. And FET has gone up by 31%. Now, moving on to look at other weekly news, what's happening. Oh, this is a funny meme, funny picture. When retail comes along, please act normal, okay? So this is the ETH, the ETH holders. I'm guessing all the other holders, and they're having a group meeting saying, please just calm down, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next stage. Like I said, dominance is going up. In this recent market pump, BTC dominance is absolutely skyrocketing, currently at 54%. It's broken through some key resistance levels and had not been since April 2021. This is typical of the stages of a market, and is actually quite healthy in my opinion. It doesn't matter about your opinion. It's going to 60%. If you like it or not, it's heading back to 60%, and that is going to be where the dominance stops at. That's the ceiling, and that's where it's going to stop at. Okay, now we're going to look at the broader market. Yeah, we're going to look at the macro broader market of what's going on. It's a bit perplexing, I understand. It's a bit confusing. Macro, the SPX is going down. As you can see, it's dropped heavily, and it's almost at the correction phase. It's almost at a part where the point where we say it's a correction. Just in, the SPF 500 has officially erased 4 trillion in market value since its July the 27th high. In 3 months, the SPF 500 has dropped 430 points and stands less than 1% away from a correction territory. Now, doesn't make sense, does it? Bitcoin's going up, making an all-time high, and SPX and the SPY is making a correction. It's almost at a correction territory. It's interesting what's going to happen. Will this pump continue? Will BTC carry on ignoring the macro environment of higher interest rates for longer? Will it happen? In my personal opinion, no. I think we don't know how high this thing will go, because it's mainly fueled by institutions that are pumping this, because we are not privy to some insider information that they have, and everyone else doesn't want to miss out. So they're jumping onto the bandwagon, and they're trying to buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay, now, how high will it go? It will make a bull flag, in my opinion, and probably go back to the scene of the crime, which is 37,000. It will hit 37,000 and then probably come back down, and then we'll make a slight correction. Depending on the FOMC meeting, I think that's going to be a pivotal moment where we're going to find out where Bitcoin might correct to. In the long term, before the end of the year, or maybe just before the ETF comes out, there's a possibility of us reaching 50,000 US dollars. There's a point that we can get to 50,000. I think altcoins have seen the bottom. I think BTC has definitely seen the bottom, and I think right now we are in a spring. We can't have honestly. Uh, Wallahi, I can't ignore this. I cannot ignore this. As much as I want to be as unbiased as possible, I just cannot ignore the charts. It's made a massive break through the psychological mark of 30k. And there's no sellers. Bears haven't stepped in and reclaimed the 30k. It's just sitting there. They haven't reclaimed anything. Now, all of this price action was most likely institutions buying the market. They kept on buying BTC, waiting for the ETF to come out. Then finally, once the ETF does come out, where it gets to 50k, where's the very top? There we go. 47k. When it does come out, by then it's gonna be dump. There's gonna be a dump. So once the news comes out, there's gonna be a dump, and people can buy ETFs. Finally, people can buy spot ETFs, and in a later show, I'll try to show you what ETFs to be privy about, because there is an expense ratio. In every ETF, there's an expense ratio. Now, with the expense ratio, it's there's some of them, the new ones, like the current ones that we might see, the Bitcoin ETF, they're going to be at 2%. Now imagine 2% times that by 40 years, by 20 years, that's almost 40% of whatever you're making. So it's good. The ones that you really want to get to, or the ones that you really want to buy, is the ones that are like 0.03% expense ratio, or the ones that you really want to buy, 0.08%. That's the ones that you want to get into. So look for an expense ratio which is very small. Don't go for the ones that are 2%, because by the time expense ratio just means fees. Yeah. So once you pay the fees, it's just going to be extortionate. And to be honest, let's be honest, we're crypto nerds. Like, we can buy BTC on the spot market whenever we want. We can buy it on Binance. We can buy it on Coinbase. We can buy it whenever we want. But for our pensions, now you have to remember the fees are killer. And these guys will extort you. So you have to be careful. So in another video, I'll drop in a comment in what to look for. Once they're out, I'll help you find the ones that have the least fees and have the most security as well. You want a quality product. So yeah, we'll look for that later on. ETF is coming out. This is great news. I'm bullish. You're bullish. We're all bullish. Now, alts, where are they heading next? Let's look. Now, if we look at the total, let's look at the total market cap of the whole scenery. Let's look at total 3, and let's head on over and find out what is going on. Sorry. Now, total 3 still hasn't made a newer high. That's the only issue I have. Yeah, the only issue I have, which is problematic for alts. Yes, they're pumping. Yes, they're all doing great numbers. Yes, Solana's doing great numbers. But you got to bear in mind, Solana's doing great numbers because everyone was heavily shorting Solana, and it's just reverted back to the mean. Now, as you can see, we made lower highs, yeah, but we're making higher lows either. So now we're at the precipice. We're at the pivotal area where we might go back down, retest this mark, and we have to break out. We have to break out of this bear flag. It is still a bear flag, guys. Like it or not, we are still in a bear flag. So it's going to be interesting if we continue this bear flag and we go back down, or we break out of the bear flag, which means we're out of the woods and we've hit the bottom. We've marked the pot. We've reached the bottom, and that's that. We still haven't gone above the bull market support band, but this is very, very interesting to see because it's just made higher lows and people are still being euphoric. People are still getting hyped. I see all the bulls come out. The whole week I've seen all these bulls come out, which is not a good sign and makes me nervous to see all these bulls come out so soon, to jump out like this and be so euphoric. Makes me kind of nervous that maybe there's a dump on the way. Okay. Price action. Let's see what's happening here. ADA is at 29 cents. It's testing a bull market support band. It's done it 3 times. 1, 2, and this is the 3rd time. We'll see if it goes above and holds. If it goes above and holds, that's good news. That means we've done, this is accumulation range. This was accumulation range of a lifetime. Now, if you can get into this, we're going to see, can it hold above the bull market support band and carry on going further. Okay. Next one, Solana. Well, Solana's ripped through everyone's expectations, and people were calling for $2 Solana, $3 Solana. It never happened. As you can see, it never happened. Now we've passed the bull market support band, came back down, retested it, didn't hold, came back up, retested it. This time it did hold, and now we're off to the races. That's it. It's confirmed. We're done. Solana's doing pretty much, it's doing very, very well, and it's leading the altcoin market.